Hi, I'm Dan and welcome to Airbrush Garage. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. So today we're going to be trying out a 2K clear in a can. I have a project that I'm just finishing up another video on, but I decided to make this a separate video because I really do want it to be about the results you can get with the 2K clear in a can. Now keep in mind, again, when you go to your local home store and you're buying your clear coat in a can, and it says 2 times, that just means 2 times faster. That is not a 2-part clear or a 2K clear. This is a 2-part clear in a can. I'll show you what this little red button is going to be used for because there's really going to be 2 parts in this can. There's going to be an activator along with the clear, which is really cool. And I think I got this for about $24. And I'm going to be showing you the difference between that and your traditional automotive clear. So if that's something you're interested in, please stick around. Consider subscribing, hit that bell so you get future notifications. Check out all those Amazon affiliate links down below for the products I use in this video and all my other videos. And with that, let's get started. All right, so before we get started, I just want to touch upon the differences between the 2K in a can versus the traditional automotive. The 2K in a can cost me about $24, as I mentioned in the intro. And it's a 2-part clear that you'll see in a minute when I take this button off and put it onto the valve on the bottom of the can. You kind of press down and pop it. What it does is it punctures the activator inside, mixes it with the clear. You shake it up, you're ready to go. This lasts about 48 hours, as per what the can says. Now, I've heard of people putting it in a refrigerator to give it a little longer shelf life. I've never done that. So again, it's usually one-time use for me. I don't usually come back and use it the second day, but I heard of people who've done that. Again, so now this is, again, for the airbrusher that's doing small projects like myself. As you see in a minute, I'm going to be putting on a guitar. I'm not painting full cars with this thing. So this is a really great option because it sounds expensive, but it's really not. It's pretty economical when you consider what you're going to need to use your automotive type of clears. This one right here, this setup is probably between anywhere from $120 to $140. By the time you buy, your clear, now this is a gallon, okay, and then you buy your reducers and your activators to get this all set up, you're in over $100, okay? Now, you can get many, many uses out of this, don't get me wrong. So in the long run, it's probably pretty economical, especially when you're doing small projects. But this, of course, requires you to have a little bit of knowledge about how to use these products. It's really hard to just use these products the first time out, just to get them in, think that you're going to mix them up, spray them, you're going to get good results. So, everything has to be mixed to pretty exact ratios when you're doing stuff with this type of product. And the setup is very important as well. So you're going to need the proper spray gun. Now this gun here is actually a 1.0, and I do small jobs with the clears with this, but any clear or videos that you watch on clear are always going to recommend like a primer type of gun where it's a 1.2 or 1.3 needle. So you're going to need, the proper gun setup. You need the proper compressor setup because especially with these HVLP guns, the low pressure high volume guns, you tend to get a lot of orange peel if you don't know exactly what you're doing or you don't have a lot of practice at it. So I'm not discouraging this type of system. I think it's great. I use it as well. I'm just saying the first time out, without doing any kind of practice, it may be very difficult for you. And you do need the proper setup. You need the compressor, you need the gun, and of course the cost of it. So this becomes a really good economical alternative because you're getting a 2K clear or 2-part clear with a hardener in it. And so you're getting that automotive finish. It's durable, it's UV resistant, the whole bit. So for $24, that's really not that bad to ensure that you're getting a really good finish on your project. You don't need any experience to use something like this. It's going to, press the trigger. Once you're all mixed up, spray. We're going to do a 50% overlap, and that's it. You're done. We're going to wait about 10 minutes between each coat. We're going to give it about 3 coats. We're going to see what it looks like after 2, but I'm probably going to go with 3. So with that, let's get started. All right, so we're going to get ready to pierce the activator. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Before I do, it recommends that you shake the can up for 2 minutes prior to doing so. Let me tell you, 2 minutes is a long time when you're shaking a can. Your arms feel like they want to fall off. I'm not going to lie to you. So shake it up the best you can. It does recommend 2 minutes. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take the red cap off. We're going to leave this cap on, okay? I'm going to take the can, we're going to turn it over, and I told you there's a valve right here that this little red cap is going to fit onto, okay? So now we're going to place that on there, and we're going to push down. There we go. Takes a little bit. Now it's pierced. Okay, now we're going to take the can, and now we are going to shake it up for another 2 minutes. I'll do that off camera so I don't bore you with that, because again, 2 minutes is a long time, but it's telling you 2 minutes for a reason, so really give it a good shake. Make sure it's all mixed up. See you in a few. All right, so before I start spraying, I'm going to make sure everything's cleaned off. So I already tacked it off a little bit. I'm just going to give it one little shot with some air, just to make sure there's no dust on it. All right, so you're going to want to do a couple other things before you get ready to spray. This is a 2-part clear, so it has a hardener in it. So it's very toxic, so you want to make sure that you have the proper respirator, P95 respirator. And I'm going to also have an exhaust fan going on here too. You want, ventilation, exhaust fan. You don't want to be breathing this stuff in. And I got gloves on to protect my hands. So take the proper precautions before you spray. All right, remember, we're going to go 50% overlap. I'm going to give it about 3 coats, probably about 5-10 minutes between each coat, depending on how it's dry. And we're going to run air on it with a fan over here in between each coat. All right, one last thing before I start spraying, I forgot to mention, it's a really cool little feature here. The little black tip on this can from Eastwood is rotatable by 90 degrees. So it gives you fan pattern, either horizontal or vertical. It's a really cool feature. All right, so that's just going to be my first coat. It's a really light coat. I'm going to let that tack up a little bit, come back with more of a medium to wetter coat, and we'll do that for 2 more coats. All right, well, that's drying relatively quick. I checked to see right here, just to get it. I don't want it fully dry, just want it tacky for that first coat. So it's approximately about 5 minutes. I had the fan running on it. So let's hit it with coat number 2. Again, it's going to be more now of a medium to wet coat. All right, it's been about 7 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. And again, I'm feeling in an area where, you won't notice it, like within the body of the guitar. Try to find an area. And if you don't have an area here's another tip, that if you don't have an area where you can actually feel the tackiness of it, spray it over on a piece of cardboard or something for that particular coat, and then test your tackiness on that. And basically, what you want is, you want it to be just dry. You know what I mean? It's like it has a little bit of a tack to it, but it's not coming off wet on your finger. That's where I like it to be when I hit it with the next coat. And again, this is drying a little faster. I know I said 10 minutes in the beginning, but you really gotta, depending on your conditions in your shop. I got 72 in here. My humidity is a little high today here in the shop. It's about 62. Should be about 50% to be ideal conditions, but it's never really ideal in a garage. Okay, we're not in a professional booth, so you have to take that into consideration. So there's a lot of different factors that are going to change your drying times. Temperature, humidity, airflow over your project. So that's all really important to know when you're doing this. So let's hit it with the last coat, and let's hope for the best, because so far it's coming really good. Well, there you have it. Absolutely beautiful results. Couldn't be happier with it. Put it on nice and wet, no runs. Really went on very, very nice. I will take a buffer to it just to get some of the little bits of dust out. I mean, let's face it, you're in a garage. You're going to get some little compound and a buffer, and it is just going to smoothen it right out, and just absolutely beautiful. All right, well, there you have it. For about $24, you get a 2-part clear. It's going to be an automotive finish, absolutely beautiful. You don't need all of this expensive equipment and paint to do a small project. Now, again, if you're going to be doing a car, highly recommend you either get someone who knows what they're doing, or you do a lot of practice with the right setup and the automotive clears. Well worth it. But when you're doing a small project like this, to have the investment, if you don't have the investment, all done up in the compressors and the guns and everything else, this is a great alternative. I will be using this on many, many small projects instead of going with the traditional route that I usually go with the automotive clear. I wish I would have discovered this sooner. I know it's been out there for a while, but I really do say I give it a 2 thumbs up. Beautiful finish. Really, really like it. I didn't buff it yet, but I expect it to buff just fine. So with that, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. You guys know the drill. Thumbs up, hit the bell. Check out those links down below. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.